Chris here, CaribbeanPot.com. Welcome to my kitchen. Just got back from the backyard and I got me a cabbage. I planted, I think, a couple of them. I gave one to my mom, Mr. Scotch bonnet pepper. So we're going to be cooking up this cabbage, and what I found in the fridge, I found some leftover stewed chicken in there, Caribbean stewed chicken. Speaking of garden, look at all my beautiful peppers that I got there. Guys, Chris here, CaribbeanPot.com. As I said, always a pleasure to have you in the kitchen with me today. Today we're going to do a quick curry cabbage with that leftover stewed chicken. So here we go. In a nice warm pan, I've got 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil in there, heating up on a medium-high heat. I'm going to go in with some onion. And I've got some garlic that I crushed in my trusty mortar and pestle bowl. Give that a quick stir. All we're doing here, as we've done in the past when making curry dishes, is to sweat that onion and garlic down until we get that lovely flavor. So I'm going to turn my heat down to low and let that go for about 3 or 4 minutes. With my heat still on low, I'm going to go in with a good crank of fresh ground black pepper. I really want to bring out the flavor of this black pepper. It's going to work well with the curry powder. And speaking of which, we're going to go in with that curry powder now. That's a couple tablespoons of madras blend curry powder. Heat still on low. We're just going to move this around because we want this to toast and sort of caramelize or sort of coat the bottom of the pan. The kitchen smelling wicked. You can already smell the lovely spices which makes up good curry powder. Let that go for another 3 minutes or so. Keep moving it around because you don't want to burn it. All we're doing is trying to toast that curry and take off that raw edge out of it. The curry powder would have gone dark. It's going to take on a couple elements. It's going to go a bit darker and it's going to go a bit grainy. It's also going to coat the bottom of that pan. So here's where we're going to crank up that heat to about a medium high and start adding in your shredded cabbage. It will seem like a lot of cabbage at first. However, as soon as it starts to wilt down, you'll have a lot of room to add more of it. So all you're going to do here is stir that around because we want to pick up all that lovely stuff on the bottom of the pan. I'm going to hit it with a generous dose of salt. Give it a quick stir. That salt is going to help it wilt down and release its own juices, which is really going to help deglaze the pan. You can see we're already starting to pick up all that lovely color from the bottom of the pan. So I'm going to go in with the rest of that cabbage. And I use an entire, between a small and a medium-sized cabbage. I use the entire thing. Then I'm going to top it with a scotch bonnet pepper. I'm hearing that lovely sizzle in the pan going on at the bottom. So now is where I'm going to turn my pan, the heat down to low. Put the lid on there and let that steam cook. I'm not adding any liquid. Let that go for about 20 minutes or so. Remember to stir it. Give that a quick stir. It's been going for about 20 minutes or so. And here's where you will personalize this dish. 1, taste it for salt and adjust accordingly. And you know what? I like the cabbage with just a slight little texture to it. So I'm not going to cook this much longer. It's fully cooked as far as I'm concerned. If you want it more cooked, you can certainly do that. And here's where I'm going to go in with that leftover stewed chicken that I found in the fridge. And you'll notice by adding the stewed chicken, the color of the dish will change. It won't reflect a curry dish because it's going to change in color, but give that a good stir. Those flavors from that stew, oh boy, it's ever going to be nice in this curry cabbage. Put the lid on there and let that go for about 5 minutes or so that chicken heats through and helps bring all those flavors together. one final stir just to make sure we picked up all those flavors. This following step I'm about to do is totally optional. I just like adding in some chopped tomato just for a little color. Put the lid on there, turn the stove off, and you're all done. Fresh cabbage from my garden, leftover stewed chicken in the fridge. Boy, it's smelling good. I know it's gonna taste good. That's gonna be my lunch. Guys, it's a very easy recipe to put together. Chris here, CaribbeanPot.com. Always a pleasure to have you guys here in the kitchen with me. In the description below, I'll have all the ingredients, a full list of all the ingredients you'll need to put this one together. So I do hope you give this curry cabbage with leftover stewed chicken a try. Vegetarians, you don't need to add that stewed chicken at the end. Cook it for 20 minutes. Make sure there's hardly any liquid, or make sure it's dry on the bottom, and you're good to go. Fully nice, tasty vegetarian meal, man. Have a good one.